Its decision day for #net neutrality. Net neutrality, the set of rules requiring Internet service providers to treat all traffic as equal, is dead. The 5 members of the Federal Communications Commission voted Thursday 3-2 along party lines to scrap Obama-era net neutrality rules, returning to a light-touch approach and ending what Chairman Ajit Pai has called the federal government's micromanaging of the Internet. The end of net neutrality rules marks a huge victory for the big Internet service providers. Depending on how they decide to act, the repeal could have massive implications for the way all Americans use the Internet. Just before the vote, the meeting was abruptly evacuated on Thursday afternoon on advice of security, said Pai. The 5 commissioners and people watching the meeting were asked to evacuate and leave their belongings in the room. It was unclear what prompted the evacuation, which lasted several minutes. During that time, a live feed showed several members of law enforcement walking around the room in what appeared to be a bomb-sniffing canine. The meeting was re-adjourned at 1:02 p.m. ET. Prior to 2015, before these regulations were imposed, we had a free and open Internet, Pai told NBC News. That is the future as well under a light-touch, market-based approach. Consumers benefit, entrepreneurs benefit. Everybody in the Internet economy is better off with a market-based approach. Comcast, the parent company of NBC News, celebrated the decision. Today's action does not mark the end of the Internet as we know it, rather it heralds in a new era of light regulation that will benefit consumers, said David L. Cohen, Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer of Comcast. Sarah K. Tellis, President and CEO of GLAAD, the world's largest LGBTQ media advocacy organization, warned that stripping net neutrality rules would silence voices of already marginalized communities and render us invisible. The Internet is a lifeline for LGBTQ people to build community support networks and access LGBTQ resources on history, suicide prevention, and health. Allowing broadband providers to regulate access is a direct and unconscionable attack on freedom of expression, she said in a statement. The arguments for and against. In short, net neutrality rules treat the Internet like a utility, helping to control what consumers are charged and ensuring there is no paid prioritization, where Internet service providers would be free to create so-called fast and slow lanes, allowing them to choose whether to block or slow certain websites. Many Silicon Valley giants support net neutrality rules and argue that without them, the Internet service providers could become gatekeepers of information and ultimately hurt consumers.